Sorry guys. Alright, are we in? Are we in? Are we in focus? Oh my god. Almost dropped my camera. But hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Enneagram Coaching. Today we are going to be going over the pros and cons of 4 different Enneagram tests. I have 2 free ones and 2 that cost money. And so I want to go over the pros and cons of each one to kind of give you guys a better idea of what you're going to be taking if you do want to take a test. I'm going to do the pros and cons of all 4 tests, so stay tuned for that. But first, you guys know I have been trying all you guys' coffee, and so I'm going to quick run to Starbucks and get a green tea frappuccino with almond milk instead of milk and sugar-free vanilla syrup. Tatum wrote this on my, I think it was the Type 6 Mistypes video. She wrote that drink on there. And so I want to try your drink, Tatum. And I will say I have never tried a green tea drink at all from Starbucks. So I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of nervous. So we'll see. But I will be right back, guys. Excuse me. All right, guys. I'm back and I have my drink, and it is, like I said, the grande green tea frappuccino, almond milk, no classic, no whip, sugar-free vanilla. I'm excited to try it. It's kind of cool. That's not bad. It's pretty good, actually. I like it. That's really good. It's not too sweet, and it's not like not sweet enough. I'm not used to green tea, I will say that, but it's light, it's refreshing, it's a fun summer drink, I think. I think I have a new little fun summer drink, and I love that it's green. Is that weird? I just love that it's a different color. So anyways, all right, thanks Tatum for giving me a new drink to try. I really appreciate it, and let's keep this going. You guys, this is so fun. I love trying new drinks. Like I said in a different video, I do not try new things hardly ever. And so this is fun. So I'm enjoying it, but thanks for the drink, Tatum. Okay, so, you're gonna have to go lay down. Did you wanna say hi before I start this video? Because I'm gonna need you to go lay down. I can't touch you, no. Say hi. Say hi. No, I'm not petting you, no. You're gonna have to go lay down. I have to get this video done. Okay. A little camera hog. So, all right guys, let's get started on this video, the pros and cons of 4 different Enneagram tests. So I want to start with, what is the best Enneagram test to take? If you are going to take a test, I don't always recommend taking tests, to be honest with you. I think it's going to depend on your level of knowledge, your self-awareness. You know, if you don't want to hire an Enneagram coach, then I would say a test, and I've said this before, a test is good at eliminating up to 6. That's really what a test is usually good for. But today we're gonna see, like, can any of these tests really do a great job of telling you your type and figuring it out for you? So today we're gonna go over 2 free tests and 2 paid tests. So let's start with, I have them all right here. This is how I keep my tests. They're all in their little folders. Each test has their own little folder. But the first one I want to start with is the free EnneagramTest.net. It's actually just EnneagramTest.net. If you type that into Google, this test is going to come up. I took the test. It's 36 questions. It's really fast. I think it took me like 5 minutes to take it. And I would say the pro is it's free, right? That's always going to be a pro, that it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. But I will say this test is not going to give you your type. It's gonna give you three answers that you were most like. It's, you know, straightforward, black and white, 36 questions. It takes you about 5 minutes, and then you get your results. And in these results, he says, sorry to disappoint, but my short test does not give you a single Enneagram type that you can run and tell your friends about. And I appreciate that he said that. It says instead it gives you your 3 strongest types based on your answers, which I appreciated that. This is a free test. It doesn't go that in depth. It's definitely not gonna give you your actual type. It's just gonna give you three that you're most like. And actually it only gives you your top 3, but it doesn't tell you the order of the top 3. So I had a 2, a 9, and a 6 in my top 3 here. And all it gives you is a little description on what it is. So for example, the helper, it says helpers are warm, concerned, nurturing, and sensitive to other people's needs. And then it goes on to say how to get along with me. It gives you a bunch of things, what I like about being that type, a bunch of things, and what is hard about being that type. So that's all it gives you. And for me, I actually do use this test with my clients sometimes because it'll just take away 6, right? So it's like, oh, okay, so these are your top 3. Let's dive deep into those 3. Let's get into the core fears, core longings, core desires, and core weaknesses, and then the wings and the arrows and all of that. And so I guess I would say it's a very simple test. And I would only use this test if you are going to, if you want to eliminate 6, like I said, or, I'm strapped on my paper, or if you're going to hire an Enneagram coach. This will help the coach know, like, okay, these are the 3 we really want to focus on. And again, you might still not be those 3, but it gives you a starting point. So I would say the pro is this is a good starting point test. This is a good test if you're going to hire a coach. It's free, it's short. There you go. That's my opinion on this test. So let's move on to the Beth McCord Enneagram Test. Okay, so this test, let's see, right here. Nope, this one goes with this one. The next test I'm doing, the Beth McCord Enneagram Test. And this test, again, this is another test that is free, which is kind of cool, right? And oh gosh, did I write down how many questions there were? I didn't write down how many questions you had to take, but I would say it took me about 10 minutes to take this test. And the pro, I would say, is it's a free test. That's kind of cool. And it's short, again, 10 minutes of my time. There was definitely more questions on this test than the other test. And what happens in your results is it gives you your top result. And so for me, it said type 9 and the peaceful mediator. And then it talks about discover great things about them. And then it does tell you the core fear, core desire, core weakness, and core longing, which I appreciated. Some key motivations and stuff like that. A little bit of out their worst and out their best. That was kind of cool. And then it gives you your top 2 types, which mine was 100% type 9, which was interesting. I've never got 100%. And then 71% type 7. And then it goes down from there. My third one was a type 5, which is so interesting. And that's it. So that's that test. It's free. It's awesome. I did like it. But again, I'm going to say this is another one of those tests that, because it only gives you your top 1 and those core fears and core longing, core weakness, and all of that, I would do this one with an Enneagram coach also. I would say it's definitely one that you want to hire an Enneagram coach to go after you take this one, to kind of dig deeper and go a little deeper. So that would be my pros. I guess the con was it only gives you an overview of 1 type. And everything else was, I would say, was a pro. So I like this test. I think I've never used it before. I just took it did I just take this one yesterday? I think I did. And so I thought it was a great test. But there you go. There's my opinion on the Beth McCord test. And I think her website actually is called Your Enneagram Coach. So that's a little bit about that. Let's move on to the next test, which is the Enneagram Institute's test. And this is the Rizzo Hudson Enneagram Type Indicator Test. And I don't know how you say it, the Ready Test? I guess that's what I've always called it. I could totally be calling that the wrong thing, but that's how I say it. Now, my results are from 2 years ago, actually. I don't think that's the first time I ever took this test, but that's the first time I actually printed it out and saved it. So my top 3 on that one was a type 9, a type 6, and a type 7, which this does not surprise me. I would say the pros is it's only $12. I guess, that could also be a con, but it's $12. It's 144 questions. And so I would say that's a pro, because it's going to go way more in depth. It's going to ask you a ton more questions. And I think that can actually help you figure out your type more accurately. So some more pros on this test was, man, it gives you a lot of information. It actually gives you a lot of information about your top 3. And so I had a full printout of the type 9, the type 6, and the type 7. And it said my second highest score was a tie between 6, 7, and 2, which there's a theme here. The 9 and 2 are so similar, that makes sense. The 9 goes to the 6 in stress, that makes sense. The 9, 7, and 2 are in that optimist triad, so that makes sense too. So, okay, so the next thing is they do give you your score. So it's not a percentage now, it's a score. So my type 9 score was a 26. My type 6, the loyalist, was a 20. And so it kind of puts them all in order for you. And so my lowest one was an 8, which is super funny. And my wing is an 8, but yeah, I don't know. The cons, it takes probably over 30 minutes to take this test, and it does cost money. So I guess I would say it's a pro that it's only $12, but it's a con because it does actually cost money. So that is my overview of the Enneagram Institute's test. I think it's a good one. I actually use this one when I teach businesses a lot of times. so that when I get there, they have their score, they have their top 3, so they know the 3 to be listening to more to figure out their type. And so that's when I use this one. But yeah, so I think it's a great test. I'm a 9, guys. I'm not gonna say any of these tests are bad, probably. But okay, so last one would be, I would say this one was my favorite, and it was the most expensive. So it's that IEQ9 Test by Ian Morgan Cron. You get so much information, guys. It was kind of neat. I don't know if it's his test, actually. I could be totally wrong. I went to his website, and this is the test that he maybe it's the test he recommends. I don't know. He says, oh, so he partnered with his friends at the Integrative Enneagram Solutions. And so it's not necessarily his test, but he partnered with them. That is good to know, right? Okay, well, that clears that up. So let's dig into the pros and cons. I'm gonna start with a con. It is expensive. It's $60, and there's 2 of them. The first one is $60, and it gives you a really good in-depth overview. But if you want even more about that type, I think it's $120. So I did the $60 test. But another con I would say is it takes a lot of time. I think it took me over 30 minutes to answer all the questions, and it is way more in depth. I really appreciated that. I would say if you're gonna get your type on this one, your correct type, you have to have a lot of self-awareness. You have to be really honest with yourself and answer these questions. And really, you should always do this with all the tests, but answer these questions based off most of your life, not where you are today, in order to get the most accurate result. And so what this test does is it starts off with a quick reference to all Enneagram types. So it gives you a little overview there. What is the Enneagram? So I like that. I like the brief teaching of the Enneagram. And then it tells you what you're gonna find in your report. So for the $60 report, you're gonna find out your core Enneagram type, the 27 subtypes. I think it gives you your actual subtype, the centers of expression, the wing influence, the self-awareness and integration, the strain levels, and the lines of tension and release. So some of those, there's a lot of verbiage for saying arrows, growth arrows, and stress arrows, and stuff like that. So it's gonna give you all of that. I will say it was really accurate except for one piece. I came up the 9, the adaptive peacemaker. So it only gives you your actual type that it thinks that you are. It doesn't give you like a top 3 and how you scored. So that could be a pro and that could be a con. It could, help you not be so confused, but then again, but what if it didn't come up with your actual type? That would be my concern. So I don't know. For me, it did. It just talks all about the motivations and thinking patterns and feeling patterns and all this great stuff, blind spots, which was cool. My favorite part of this whole thing is it does give you development exercises. And so one example I'll give you is it says, you easily disconnect from your own needs and preferences. The tendency to fall asleep to yourself makes it difficult to connect to and communicate your needs and wishes to others. When last did you clearly express what you need and want to someone? What would you gain or lose from doing this? And I was like, I can express my needs pretty well with my husband and my kids, but beyond that, I have a deep fear. I have a fear of conflict. I have a fear of like, what if they don't show up? What if? But this is a really good exercise. So anyways, this one, there's 5 on this one. You keep going and it talks about strengths and positive qualities, weaknesses and challenges, the subtypes. So here's where I don't think it definitely didn't get mine correct. It said that I'm an SP. 100%, I understand why it would come up the self-preservation instinct, because I do love comfort and I do like doing the same thing every day. And, I do have an instinct of survival and physical safety and material security and well-being and comfort, but it's not my first instinct, guys. It's definitely not. For some reason, I was answering the test like this, but it's not my first instinct. If I walk in a room, my first instinct is everybody else. It's very social. It's very make sure everybody's doing okay and feeling out the room. And I will put all my needs aside, even in an unhealthy way sometimes, to make sure everybody else is being heard, being seen, feels good, feels comfortable. So I would say my first instinct is social, but this one said self-preservation, which I definitely have. The childhood that I had growing up, I think the self-preservation instinct is definitely developed in me 100%, don't get me wrong. I know the childhood I had, it actually was a lot about survival and different things. And so I think my social and self-pres, I always put social self-pres, you know, by each other, because I think they're both extremely developed in me. So that's what I think. But take that for what you want, right? Take that for what you will. And then keep going. There's so much more, guys. So many more exercises. Center of expression, that feeling center. They talk about that. The center of intelligence. Love that. And it goes on and on and on, and more exercises and stuff. And I'm actually going to read it thoroughly through, because I just took this test yesterday, but I loved it. So this test, I would say, if you're not going to hire an Enneagram coach, or you just want something, you know, that you think that it will definitely give you your top type, but if it gets it wrong, it's going to give you all the information for the wrong type. So that would be a con. But if it definitely gets it right, you're going to get so much great information on your actual type, which I love. So pros and cons of both, I guess. So there you go, guys. Those are the 4 tests that I wanted to compare and contrast today. The pros and cons of each test. I hope this helped you. I hoped if you do want to take a test, you know now, oh, which one would you go and take? I don't have any affiliation with any of them. And so I don't care which one you take. I just wanted to give you my opinion as a certified Enneagram coach and kind of how I use them and whatnot. I just really think any of this can help you guys. So, but now you know, starting from free all the way to $60 for a test that you can choose from. Let me know in the comments below if you have taken these tests, what you think, if they definitely got your type right or not, or if you have a test you'd recommend. I love learning from each other. Yeah, so if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It's super important to my channel, and don't forget to subscribe. I have a ton of videos coming your way, guys. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm Hillary_McCaskey_coaching. And I also have another Instagram account, which I didn't say Instagram the first time, but yeah, that's my Instagram handle. Is handle? Are we supposed to say handle? I don't know, but my other one is Enneagram and Coaching. So those are 2 places you can find me on Instagram. Say hey in the DMs if you do give me a follow. I like meeting you guys. And so yeah, that's all I got. And if you guys do want to hire a certified Enneagram coach, I have a lot of packages you can choose from. I will list my website right here. Go check that out and see if anything jumps out at you and you'd like to do it. So, but until next time, bye guys.